Hello everyone, I'm Legend Russell, Captain Commander of Team Broken, and today we're going to be going over how to build a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck Part 2. Now, before I even get into that, I want to say I'm sorry for not putting up the video as soon as I should have. I've been having technical difficulties, that's why I am doing this off my webcam. So I hope you guys can forgive my apology and enjoy the video with the slight downgrade in quality. Now, that being said, if you guys remember our last video, we ended off on templating. And if you didn't catch that one, here go a link right here to my last video. And if you missed it, I'm also going to have one in the description below. Now, you guys are also going to have to get used to pattern recognition. You know, you really want to get to the point where you're not even thinking about your plays. And the reason, because when we get into large tournaments, let's say 10 plus matches, you might have to go without eating for a little bit. You might have to bring water or something to keep hydrated. And if you're not ready for the tournament, you're going hungry or thirsty, you can have other things in your mind other than the game state at hand. So just understanding all your possible plays you can go into in your deck, it can ease up a lot of stress that you don't even have to go through in said tournament. So just get to the point where you just know your deck, basically. Also, keep track of what works for you. You know, a lot of people are down themselves because their test results show different than everybody else. Now, just because everybody on Pojo, Duelist Grounds, TCG players say this deck is broken, this card is broken, and your test results show different, it doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong, and doesn't necessarily mean they're right. It just means the majority test results show different than yours. Now, if we look at, for example, Plant Synchro. Now, it's amazing that we all know this from past tournaments. Now, if we look at a deck that hates on the graveyard, for example, Gravekeepers or a deck utilizing Defissure and Macrocosmos, then the matchup can be pretty much one-sided because Plant Synchro pretty much run relatively low attack monsters and utilizing their graveyard as a toolbox. So when you eliminate the toolbox, their toolbox being the graveyard, you pretty much gain this huge advantage. Look at Fraser Smith and his teammate winning Atlanta. So just understanding the purest information. So just go with the purest information, guys. That's the best key. You know, even if this information came from your own testing, go with it because that's what you understand to be true. Now, another thing to realize, guys, is everybody plays every deck differently. So just because they say this card or this deck is not as good or not as good as you think it should be, and yours show different, I always remember, go with the purest information. Because just with possibly with the Gravekeepers in Atlanta, you know, they probably didn't see a certain matchup coming, or they probably wasn't ready for said deck at the time. So utilize your opportunity and always go with the purest amount of information. Now, realize, guys, in your matchups, when you also playing in tournaments, people are going to play road decks. Everybody is not going to play the meta. Now, that being said, for example, Sean Cooper, I think is his name, who's always plays Morphin Jar. Now, there are players who just play road decks. There are players who play decks they love. Now, you can look at it as a goldfish and think, hey, whatever, I should be able to win in time. But not necessarily. If their deck can attack your deck strategy, example being Gravekeepers with Necro Valley, then it can give them the total advantage. So you're going to have to side for the unexpected and make sure that you have side deck open to be able to protect your deck against weaknesses. Now, you might say, well, like Dino Rabbit or Chaos Dragons are broken, I need on the side deck space for them. Well, not necessarily, because if we really look at side decking, guys, it doesn't matter what you want to side in if you're not siding out the same amount of cards. Now, that being said, if you want to worry about one matchup and you want to side in 15 cards for that one matchup, what 15 cards could you possibly side out for that matchup? How would it affect your strategy? How would it affect your synergy, your deck play? Could you still go into your plays? Do you still have the same win options? Those are the kind of things you guys got to think about. Because if your deck has some kind of toolbox from the graveyard and you're trying to take away the graveyard completely just to hurt their deck, how would that affect your matchup? So you guys are gonna have to get used to side decking and doing it for yourself. Don't go with side deck guides. They don't work. You know, like when you buy a deck, a structure deck, they come with a little thing that shows you like this is a strategy you want to do. This is, hey, you get this monster on the field, activate your fit, and yada yada yada. You know, it doesn't tell you how to play the deck. It doesn't say, oh, if you open up with a handful of spells, what to do. You know, so there are certain circumstances, let's say with a deck like Plant Synchro or Chaos Dragons that need the graveyard, and you activate something like Microcosmos. There are some things that are finite and you must have, but outside of that, you guys are gonna have to play for yourself and go with your own information that's pure. Remember, that's the key. Now, another thing in deck building that you guys I like to do, and I think it could benefit you all as well, is when you actually doing your deck construction. You know, you're going through the four methods of thinking and everything. Like, figure out two decks that you want to beat. Now, these decks can be the decks that you have the worst matchups against or whatever. That'll probably be the best idea, right? And pretty much come up with a strategy, a solid strategy, and add the tone for those two decks. You know, if it, for something like heavy exceeding or a synchro, you might want to add Thunder King. If it, even just have a lot of searching, you know, like add the tone to be able to stop those two decks in your main deck construction, and it'll help you in the long run. It'll save you side deck space for those unknown road decks, and even give you more side deck slots open to hate on their decks even more. Say, well, this card might hurt my strategy a little, so I'm just gonna keep that for the side deck and so forth. But that's about it, guys. Hopefully I can put up the next video very soon, just to try to make up for all the time I missed. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like. So until next time, guys, peace.